also, similar thing could happen to the other eye. We have to investigate constitutional issues that to reduce the incidence of having the same thing happen to the other eye. Maybe the producer who can give you my email address, feel free to email me, and I'll be happy to look into the doctor who is taking care of her, for example, to make sure that she's under the proper specialist care.
That means the world to me.
I have this patient from India, a very brave girl. Hello, Kajal.
Ming, did the nun tell you what happened?
No.
Street beggars make more money if they're legitimately blind. So the stepmother poured sulfuric acid in each of her eyes.
She reminds me of Lily.
我永远都会保护你。
你真的那么想？
当然。
I told Lily we would make it together.
Hey, it's Jim Alexander with The Real Talker. Pleasure to speak to you, gentlemen.
Hey, Jim.
You know, it's so interesting. This movie hit me extra hard. It hit it home because my sister just was last week in a hospital for an eye condition that apparently she had some blood clots in her eye and she lost half of her vision in one eye. So it's been a very stressful time in the family, and just watching that, it kind of hit home too. The importance of and the fragility of eyes too, that one day you can be fine and one day, like my sister, kind of find yourself in a hospital over something that you can imagine. So very timely, I'd say.
Yeah, this film has definitely got that going for it, is the timeliness.
Yeah,
we're very fortunate.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. Tom, I'm going to start with you. What is it like? Not only, you know, as an actor, you've done a lot of different things, but here you get to play a real person that you're sitting next to right now. What's that pressure, privilege? How do you kind of take it in to play Dr. Wang when he's right there as a resource too?
Pleasure, privilege. It was absolutely an honor and a privilege, first and foremost. Beyond that, it was terrifying, daunting, fearful. Obviously, you want to do justice to such an incredible life. But I had to sort of get over that quite quickly because there was work to be done. And my main focus was to bring as authentic a portrayal of the good doctor's life and what he had to endure. And having him on set for the 6 weeks while we were in production in Vancouver was absolutely invaluable, because I had to, I had him to lean on throughout the whole shoot, and he was incredibly generous with his time and support.
Dr. Wang, how many times did you kind of pinch yourself and you saw yourself in Tom, whether watching clips or the monitor, sort of, did you catch yourself several times kind of saying like, oh my gosh, that is me, or that was exactly spot on?
Many moments. I was there the entire 6-7 weeks when the film was in shooting in Vancouver, Canada, a little bit over 3 years ago. Yeah, it's 2021. And for me, it's a learning experience. I saw the fascinating process of filmmaking and dedication, artistry of these world-class actors such as Terry Chen and Greg Kinnear. But also to see the life unfolding in the past. Can you imagine? It's a unique privilege as a human being, right? See part of your life unfolding in the past and ask yourself, could I have done better in those circumstances? What I've learned since. So it's a humbling experience to have my story told on big screen.
I was wondering too, watching this film, I kind of asked myself a question, and I'm curious if you thought about it yourself, Dr. Wang, but how do you think your life would have turned out if you didn't have all these obstacles? If you, in a sense, maybe grew up in the United States and not China during these times, do you still think you would have gotten to this point where you ended up in your life and career? Do you ever think about that? Had you been sort of born in a different place under different circumstances, would you have that drive and desire to become who you became?
Ryan Holiday, New York Times bestseller, has a book called Obstacle is the Way. I would not be able to have done what I have done in life had I born with much better situation, better living conditions. We tend, as human beings, we tend to think obstacle is in the way, meaning we have to go around it, and we wish we didn't have the obstacle. But what I've learned, as Ryan Holiday pointed out in his book, Obstacle is the Way, is that actually it's necessary. It is only through going through the obstacle itself can we build our characters and resolve. So in many ways, these are necessary challenges. And I will encourage all the young people, if you live in a situation where there aren't that many challenges, maybe test yourself, go to third world countries to experience, to help those people who needs help, because it's about the building your own character through obstacle. So obstacle is the way, it's not in the way.
Harry, how did this, in a sense, this whole process and film and everything that you've done here change you personally? Did you have some self-reflective moments, that maybe either professionally or personally that, you might take with you going forward too?
My experience was incredibly transformative through this process. I mean, during the time that we were shooting, my son had just spent about 4 months in the NICU because he was born 3 months premature. So he was in an incubation tank for about 3 months, and they flood these incubation tanks with pure oxygen. So what that oxygen does, and we received a prognosis that there was a potential that my son's retina would detach from his eye socket. And how serendipitously I was working with a world-renowned doctor on this project and had him to reference to. So much like yourself and your family, I was going through a period of just unknowing fear, vulnerability. As a new father, all you want to do is take care of your children and provide them safety and comfort. And I couldn't. I felt like I couldn't do anything. And Dr. Wang provided me with a reference to another pediatric ophthalmologist who gave me knowledge and information, which empowered me to feel like I understood the situation better. And it was something that was so needed during that time, especially while we were shooting. So personally, do I take a lot away from it? Yes. I'm so inspired and grateful for the generosity of Dr. Wang's time and his open heart, but also the importance of family dynamic and relationship and supporting within that unit. It's one of our central themes of the film.
What I kind of enjoyed, it's like you see the man behind the doctor. I love the emotional side too, Dr. Wei, that was portrayed here. Because sometimes you think of doctors as sort of robots on the outside, that they don't have emotions or feelings. And I loved how this movie sort of displayed how much these patients impact you personally and how much they meant to you. So I thought that was a very beautiful way to show vulnerability.
Yes, indeed.
Before I let you guys go, I'm curious, Dr. Wei, did you ever find out what did happen to Lily as we watch here? It's such a big part of your life. Did you ever get the answers you were seeking?
No, she was never found. And during Cultural Revolution, 20 million people were sent away against their will to labor camp for life, poverty, hard labor for life. And among the 20 million were sent away, over 10,000 died or disappeared. And Lily was one. And actually, her father was killed in a much more brutal way in the hands of Red Guards than was depicted. We have to soften a little bit the Cultural Revolution to protect the artists who were involved in this film. It's just the point to bring up to this film for America today is that we are living in the country. Yes, we have divisions. Yes, we have difficulties. Yes, we have challenges, but still, we're living a great country. And let's appreciate more through the story of someone who used to not have freedom, and appreciate America more by being more willing to work together. And also I want to point it out that for your sister with a blood vessel occlusion, it's important two things. One is the complication in the same eyeball. Sometimes blood vessel occlusion will be some complications long-term in the eye with blood vessel occlusion, neovascularization, new blood vessel growth, but also similar thing could happen to the other eye. We have to investigate constitutional issues that to reduce the incidence of having the same thing happen to the other eye. Maybe the producer who can give you my email address, feel free to email me, and I'll be happy to look into the doctor who is taking care of her, for example, to make sure that she's under the proper specialist care.
That means the world to me. Terry, as you can see, this man is pretty amazing. And just right there, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much, Dr. Wang. I hope definitely to make that connection. That would be wonderful. thank you for making this film, and just in general, this was very inspiring in so many counts, and it's going to touch lives. And it's great to have films like this in the world to really kind of inspire and make us kind of think about what we can do to contribute to life. So thank you both. Continue doing the great work individually, both of you. And Dr. Ring, I appreciate the resource. I hope to connect with you.
Yes, be happy to help.
Thanks,
Thank
Jim.
you so much. Have a great day, gentlemen.
Thank you.